Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 90 of the Path to 1 Million. I hope you guys are doing well today and everything is going good. If for those of you that are live, if you could just do me a favor and just hit that like button, just let me know that you guys can hear me okay. I would really appreciate that. I have been reading a book by David Goggins that's called Can't Hurt Me. And thank you, Holly, for the like. And as I'm reading this book, there's this chapter in there where David Goggins at the time, thank you, Susan, for the like. There's this chapter in there where David Goggins he's weighing like 300 pounds. He is working as an exterminator at night, and he's absolutely miserable. He hates his life. He hates his job. And he saw this commercial on TV about being a Navy SEAL. And he said, you know what? This is what I want to do. So he starts calling Navy recruiters, and everybody laughs him out because he weighs 300 pounds. There's no way you can become a Navy SEAL and weigh 300 pounds. He finally finds one recruiter willing to talk to him in the area. And he goes and talks to him. And the Navy recruiter says, you know what? He says, you might have the drive mentally, but your body, you're 109 pounds overweight. You have to lose all this weight in order for you to become a Navy SEAL. And of course, he leaves the office dejected because he only has a span of about 3 months to actually make this happen. But he still wants to be a Navy SEAL. He goes back to his job and he's working, and there comes this night where he is, like I said, he's an exterminator and he's working at restaurants at night. And he goes to this one restaurant in particular and he's cleaning out the traps and he's spraying. It's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and he's spraying to get rid of the bugs and everything else. And as he's doing it, he notices at this one particular restaurant that there's a lot more like rodent activity than normal. So he's putting extra spray down. He's like, what's going on? Where are all these cockroaches coming from? I can't believe it. Suddenly, the roof right above his head collapses. And that is where the nest of cockroaches actually are. And he literally gets showered with thousands upon thousands of cockroaches. It's completely disgusting. He completely wigs out. Roaches are running everywhere. And he runs out the door. And at that moment, he says to himself, screw this noise. I am going to become a Navy SEAL. I am not doing this for the rest of my life. And the reason why I'm bringing that story up is because in this marketing group that I belong to, we've been talking a lot lately about the two sides of every single person. There's the heroic self and there's the lesser self. The lesser self is the one that loves complacency. It loves being comfortable. It loves doing the same thing over and over and over again. And every single time there's some kind of a challenge, whether that's a difficult challenge or an easy challenge or something to do to improve your situation or whatever it is, the lesser self is always the default. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to endure, the 5 seconds of discomfort in order to have 8 hours of pleasure, versus the heroic self that says, you know what, I am willing to put in the work. I am willing to do what is necessary in order to achieve that next level. So for me, one of the things that I remember thinking about was many moons ago, sitting in the doctor's office when he told me that my cholesterol was high and that he was going to have to start putting me on medication. And I remember that thinking to myself, I don't want to be on medication. But the extra motivator for me was the fact that I have seen the long-term effect of being on medication. I was like 37, 38 at the time. And he's telling me I have to be on medication for the next, 40, 50 years, as long as I'm alive on this planet, 60, 70 years, if I live to be 120. But I remember thinking in my head, because my brother, he had been taking high-powered medication since he was about 10 years old. And when he went to the hospital during his last days that he was with us on planet Earth before he shuffled off his mortal coil, his entire digestive tract was dead. And I'm not saying that in some literary sense or drawing. No, it was literally dead. Like the surgeons had to go in there and remove it because it was making his conditions worse. They had to install a colostomy bag. And I just remember thinking to myself, wow, it's because of all these medications that he has been on for decades. And a lot of these medications that have come out to help control cholesterol or Prozac or whatever it is haven't been out really all that long. And we really don't know the true long-term effects of it. And I just remember thinking to myself, this is not something that I want to do. My lesser self, of course, is saying, you know what, Cliff, I want to keep eating ho-hos. I want to keep eating pasta every single night. I love rice, and I love having a whole big half plate of rice and all these other things. But the heroic self stepped up and said, no, I am going to lose weight, right? That's the more difficult path that the heroic self always chooses. Whenever you're choosing to do something physical, or if you want to do something diet, if you're seeking to improve yourself, it's very easy at the end of the day to just come home, sit on the couch and watch TV all day. That's the lesser self. The heroic self is the one that says, you know what, I can be better. I want to invest in myself. I want to be a better person. And the heroic self is the one that steps up and says, you know what, I want to get better at my job, or I want to get more education, or I want to be a better citizen or contribute back to my community. And the heroic self is the one that says, let's get involved in a group. Let's do something that's volunteer worthy. Let's go pick up a book so I can learn how to be better, or to set higher goals for myself, or to improve, or to have more of a positive impact around me. And this is something that every single day, whenever I make a choice, whenever I make a decision, if my default answer is no, I have to ask myself, is this the lesser self that's answering the question, or the heroic self that is answering the question? If something irritates me, if something bothers me, I have to ask myself, is this the lesser self that is responding to the situation? Am I meeting this adversity on its same level, or am I rising above the heroic self? And a lot of people today, everything is about convenience, right? Everybody's talking about, push button. Oh yeah, you can make $1 million in 24 hours, or this is how I'm making $250,000 a month just by doing Facebook ads, or something crazy like that. And while there might be the unicorns out there that are actually achieving these goals, for a vast majority of the people, they're not. They're always looking for some kind of a quick fix, something that's going to get them some kind of an instant gratification, and they're willing to pay money for it versus putting in the actual work. And what I don't think people understand is that for the long-term benefit, putting in the actual work is where you actually get the fruits. So there's going to be some level of discomfort up front to get the ball moving forward. But once that ball starts moving forward, that's when the payoff really comes. Every single time in my life, whenever I've tried to cheat a system or tried to, figure out some quick or fancy way to get around it, it has never worked out. Never once. But every single time that I have laid the foundation, I have put in the work, it has always paid off in spades. An example of this is one of the clients that I'm working with on the LinkedIn project. Initially getting going, it was probably a good 40 or 50 hours just to get the ball moving forward. But once we got the ball moving forward, now all I have to do is invest about an hour every single day, and they are seeing the benefit from it. And whenever they want to cut the process, and I know I've talked about this ad nauseum, when they talk about cutting the process or anything else, that is their lesser selves that is speaking. They just want the ticket to fast riches, and it has never worked. And then when we switch back over to the heroic self, where you actually have to input the work, actually care about what it is that you're doing, investing the time, investing the energy, choosing the harder path, that is when the results actually come. So anyways, I just wanted to share some thoughts with you on that. I appreciate all of you guys for watching, stopping by. Thanks, Holly. Thanks, Sherry. Thanks, Susan. Thanks, Charles. I really do appreciate you guys stepping in. And I will talk to you again tomorrow with another story. Have a great day. See ya.